up, guys? Welcome back to another one.
It's not the beliefs that sometimes I have a problem with, or I think people have a problem with in general. It's just like the actions from their beliefs. So like, it's.
So this question was, I'm sorry, I'm at 157. This question was,
there are times when I feel
uncomfortable expressing my views around sexuality. So like, it's very interesting that that person doesn't feel uncomfortable expressing their views around sexuality. That leads me to believe that they're in a very accepting community, like local community.
If we can't be loving in our beliefs and, you know, how our actions.
Which makes sense as to why she's walking around with blue as a blue person. Because you'd have to, and this is actually a real thing. If you feel that comfortable being that expressive about your sexuality and who you are, then you must live in a very accepting community, which means that you're probably not as like specifically targeted or dismantled or oppressed for your identification.
From those beliefs, and like, I love that we're having this conversation, and, you know, we're trying to preach those.
Boom, headshot! Boom, headshot! Boom, headshot!
I know that I'm going off at a tangent right now, but I feel like this is something that I've needed to talk about for a very long time, because I don't know if they're going to talk about here, and that's pride parades, because they mentioned that his dad was protesting pride parades. A lot of conservatives issue with pride parades. Well, a lot of conservatives issues. Some conservatives issues that they hate gay people. But some people nowadays, especially, their issue with pride parades is how overly sexualized and how normalized it is for fetish to be the president of the community. And it's a struggle that I have as well, because I think that people need to be looking at Pride festivals as celebrations to the LGBTQ heroes of the world, right? Of the world. Because whether you like it or not, whether you want to hear this or not, like, there are LGBTQ heroes. If you are somebody who walks around and advocates for LGBTQ rights, especially back in the day where you would have violence committed onto you if you did protest and fight for your rights, you're saying that you're going to face, you're allowing yourself to face violence. You're allowing yourself to be subjected to potential violence in order to fight for something that you believe in. And so I believe that that's somebody that would be worth being considered a hero. Unfortunately, it does get taken over by a lot of overly sexualization in the community. And what I would say is that and there's a little bit of a historical background here that I don't think that we talk about. Historically speaking, a lot of gay people they would pretend that they weren't because of how oppressive it was to be considered openly gay. You wouldn't be able to get a job, and you would be ostracized from your community. And so what happens is a lot of gay men, specifically, will generally marry women and have kids, walk away from the kids, but on the times that they can, they would historically leave their home and go out to like a gay bar a town over or so. A bar that gay people knew was a gay bar, but most other people didn't know. And so they would go to these gay bars, and then they would go there and they would party. And so my understanding is a lot of the overly sexualization of the LGBT community kind of stems from this culture that was created around having to sneak around and hide your sexuality.